Welcome back to Dive Time Dota Fastcast of the International 2016. We're here with MVP Phoenix versus the Wings Gaming. Game 2 of their best of 3 in the semifinals.
That's right.
Wings took an early game last time. They had a crazy all-range draft and just pushed down towers before MVP could even blink.
Yeah, the Wings was absolutely dead if that game went longer than 40 minutes. Like, no question, the PA was just going to one by one their team, but it never came to that. PA's farm got held in check a little bit, and the Wings, mostly by the Wings taking towers really early and controlling the map. And so just one more proof that an early game strat, an all-in on an early game strat, without even a backup plan, without even like a hard carry, like, well, if it goes late, we'll get this. It can still work. It can still pay dividends. Like an IO without even a melee right clicker, that's how strong an early game lineup can be in this current meta.
When you insert that maybe we're going late draft, that one hero into the early game,
all of a sudden you're protecting them.
That can break the early game
No,
strat.
of course, absolutely. No, I totally agree. All right, looking at this draft really quick.
PA again on MVP.
Well, PA on MVP, not again, because you're right, it was. So they get Kua's PA again, even though it didn't work in the last game. But Wings has a less early lineup. It's still very early. Juggernaut is like one of the earliest carries you can have in my book. Faceless has been used more for his utility than anything else. Elder Titan and Disruptor, both excellent early game supports, and Batrider is your early game ganker. So Wings again going with the early game, a little less so than last time, a little less bravely than they did last time, but they're up a game, so that is not as big of a gamble for them. Meanwhile, MVP, they have a bounty hunter to try to help things out, and then their lineup's a little greedy. They have
Ursa Spirit Breaker safely. What is happening?
The three cores are Ursa PA, or PA Ursa and Darkseer, I believe. Like Spirit Breaker probably won't be getting many right clicks, but that's a very brave support to pick up there. A lot of good defensive and offensive supports, and Batrider goes down in the mid. Disruptor gets picked off as well, and that's 2 more kills going for MVP.
Disruptor was being a douche in the jungle. Batrider got legit first blooded by PA.
Yeah, and one more kill happens. It's 3-0 now, MVP. And this is what we saw in game 1. MVP gets the early kills, despite Wings having an early game centered lineup. And Spirit Breaker
refuses to buy a TP. That's how you know you've lost to Spirit Breaker. And Bounty did the same thing. What
yeah, he
the
doesn't
hell
have
is
the
going
money
on
yet.
here?
No, that's fine. This is pro. This is Wings. This is how you do it. Feed the creeps so that they're worth more later.
And just get twice.
Was it?
Yep. Ursa and Bounty.
Oh man. One day I'll get straight. Okay, and there's a Kronos to defend against a Spirit Breaker charge from the jungle, and a very good turnaround. But PA is going to try to chase this one out, and he finds the Juggernaut, who's spinning in the trees to avoid the Ion Shell damage, but it doesn't save him. The right clicks come through, and Wings loses 2. Now it's 7-1, another big early game lead for MVP. This time the graphs are actually showing it. Okay, not big.
I'm not sure we looked at the graphs last time.
Well, you did at one point. You were like,
later. It was much later.
But they were never winning, and we thought they were winning the whole time. This time, they're up in kills, and they actually are up in gold.
A 2 and 3K lead can look like nothing.
Yes, that's true. That's true. 2 kills for Wings. They get the Bounty Hunter, and then also they manage to work that Spirit Breaker down. And then here's a Kronos in on the Bounty Hunter again. Yeah, he's invisible, and the PA will counter engage, but that was dumb because that was a 1v3. And so Kua goes down, and Wings gets a very helpful kill on a MVP core. The Ursa moves into Roche, and there's a smoke that it's going to use to see if anyone's coming. And that first Roche goes to the Ursa.
Isn't Dubu on Spirit Breaker the Bash Lord? Isn't he the one who believes?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the casters.
There's another Chrono, and it gets the Bounty. Wings smokes and up to the tier 1. the defense is there. The Juggernaut almost goes down, and Ion's shelled up. Oh, and the wall gets committed for 2 kills on Wings. MVP loses their bounty hunter somewhere along the way.
Bat managed to evade the Dubu Bash. Maybe it's just people like to say Dubu Bash.
Dubu Bash. It's pretty fun. Whoa!
TP charge. Or rather, charge onto the TP.
Yes. So MVP, they smoke up and they're moving top now, and they must have seen some Wings players, and they're picking them off one by one. And Faceless is down, Disruptor is down. Oh, but MVP gets turned on and lose the Ursa. Spiritbreaker can't charge away either, and so it's actually kind of a wash in the top lane. Wings looks to be aggressive after that. They get one more kill, and they're trying to take the tier 1. The Spiritbreaker charge is cancelled, and it looks like that's the end of that. So Wings gets the tier 1 in the top lane off the counter of a MVP push in the top lane.
Honestly, these fights are going so fast, it looks like MVP is just losing, just like they are immediately dying, but I feel like there's this point in the beginning where they look like they're going to win, and we're going too fast to see that. It just looks like they're taking bad engages.
The Bounty Hunter goes down again, but more importantly, the PA goes down in the top lane.
Oh, the ET stomp stopped the Spiritbreaker charge.
And there was a kinetic field, and there was the...
The field wouldn't stop the charge, though.
A lot of...
It would stop him getting away after he was
The field
stopped.
wouldn't stop the...
No.
Really?
No. You can charge out of that.
I had no idea, and I actually played Spiritbreaker, but that's interesting. Okay. Kills now going the way of Wings, but the towers, again, are MVPs. They have only lost that one top, and that was kind of their own accidental doing. They probably wouldn't have lost it had they not been too pushed out in the top lane earlier. Meanwhile, Wings is down to just their tier 2s, and they look to take a fight under the tier 1 of MVP in the off lane, and 4 go down. Darkseer wall happens, but it does not bring anyone down. Wings cleans up the tier 1 and will make it their retreat. Roche is pinged. It looks like Ursa blinked in, and yeah, that'll be a second Roche. This time it goes on Kuo. Might have went on Kuo. First time I actually didn't notice about it. But second Aegis, again going the way of MVP, and MVP looks to engage on that, and Wings only loses a sort of out of position Disruptor, but are able to fight against the Aegis and get 3.
3
and the Aegis. Yeah, cool.
I don't remember the first Aegis in this match, but I'll just believe you.
Well, I remember Ursa getting it. I don't remember it popping, so it might not have. It might.
I remember Ursa TPing back by dying to Roche.
Nah, there was another one.
Okay. I guess yeah, Ursa is in the match. You know.
Yeah, when Ursa's in the match, you gotta count your Roches because cheese happens very early. Speaking of early, it's 25 minutes, and Wings, who took game 1 in the early game, has to probably be thinking about the same sort of ticking clock they're up against with the Ursa PA combo from MVP being a much more promising late game. Wings smokes into the secret shop area around Roche Pit, and they catch 3 of MVP for nothing.
Speaking of that clock, they just threw it on the ground.
Yeah, they're not too aggressively positioned on the map. They're doing a lot of farming
well, they kind of
safe movements.
Get their abilities ready. Like, Bat has his lasso, but nothing to follow up. Oh,
yeah.
But look at that.
Speaking of, Bat has his lasso, and they follow it up.
You gotta stop that. Give me a chance to be
MVP
right.
smokes up with some ion shells, but the Chronosphere diffuses the situation and turns it, and they get 3, I think maybe even 4. The Darkseer came back really fast. It might have been a buyback, it might have been something else. But Wings will take a tier 2 and a tier 3 and a set of racks, and the response comes back in, but MVP just is feeding kills here at this point. They're dying. The PA does get a kill on the Elder Titan, so it is not a total waste, but Wings definitely getting the better trades, towers and kills. There's the Darkseer wall comes through with the...
Yeah, it gave MVP a fight that they needed very badly.
Yeah, two down there. The third Roche is a contested one. The Aegis goes on Kuo again, so MVP getting it but it's gonna be ugly. MVP might lose everyone here.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So
If
they
that's
just
not GG,
immediately
it is
gave up.
soon.
Big push by Wings in the bot lane. This is probably gonna be another set of wrecks. I guess there's no buybacks. The tier 3 is about to fall. Yeah, Wings not even really breaking a sweat to kill the cores of MVP. So I think another job well done in starving out a later game lineup. And,
Wings is so passive. They just back and farm.
Yeah, I mean they're
doing it
that
really
is interesting.
professionally.
Yeah, you would expect Wings to be pressing the issue a little more, but I think you're right. They're making the right decisions when to press and when to like just get out entirely.
Get the abilities back.
Yeah, so there's a smoke down the mid, and they wrap around on MVP in the bot lane because that's where they're pushing out the lane, and they get 3, and that's going to be GG. So game 2 and the series going to Wings. Wings makes it to the upper bracket final and guarantees a top 3 spot.
Yeah, that's a lot of moolah.
And MVP had a good run in the upper bracket. They'll drop down to the lower and play. Is it DC? I believe so.
I don't know where DC is right now, but the graph does show you can actually see the little divot. I would have thought the graph of game 1 looked more like that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look at all those blinks on them. Wow. Okay. Thanks for watching. Come back next time. Bye bye.